Holy fuck! Finally! My camera's off for a reason. Anyways, maybe one of these days. So, what's going on, everybody? Um, it's been a while since I've done a stream like this, like without much of a script, cause this uncut. Let me see if any, because no one is banned, no one is fucking blocked. At least I hope not, because I can't access the channel that I used to have. I know I sound sick right now. It's because kinda am. This is what I get for taking too much melatonin. Um, like I said before, mental health is real. Man or woman, boy or girl. They, them, he, she. We're all just people. So one thing that I forget most of the time, because I choose to be alone for a reason. I push people away for a reason. I don't tell them certain things for a reason. And I hate it how some people like to accuse victims of them not telling the truth. Because most of the time the ones who do have mental issues are the ones telling the truth, but nobody will believe them because of their mental health history. I'm a big example of that. Like I said before, I've had a therapy. I went into therapy when I was very young, came out very young, but I still had more learning to do. There's some things that therapy can't teach because you have to teach yourself it, whatever it is. And when May comes along, I will be making a video for someone very close to me, and she unfortunately passed away. I'm just getting tired of holding back tears when it comes to these types of things, because I hear it so much. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do to help? Because I don't know how half the time. All I can do is listen and try to comfort that person as best I can. But I can barely comfort myself at times. That's why I listen to loud music. That's why I run a lot. And I should probably start prioritizing my mental health because I've been neglecting myself for so long. People say, oh, that's selfish. Well, sometimes you have to be. And it's like very like crazy how I walk down the street and I see people suffering and no one's doing anything about it. And people say, "Oh, they can't be helped." Yes, they can. I guarantee you if they were to be checked in to like a mental health hospital, they'd be doing great there because they're getting the resources that they need. It's not a matter of want anymore. It has to eh, it's a need. It's a need, not a want. It should be a want to get help, but some people have to tell you that you need help. And those people care. They may seem like assholes at times, but they're generally saying if they think you need help, then you need help. It's not a matter if you want help anymore. Because I'm getting ready myself to check myself into one because that's all I can do. I'm probably gonna enter myself into a program before I go to school so I can get my head straight. Because half the things that I tell myself are lies. And sometimes I don't want to believe in the lies anymore. I want the truth. Because that's the only thing you can trust. Because lies and fear is what keeps you from what's really going on. It clouds your judgment and your pride. Fear is what cannot be trusted. It cannot be trusted at all. Just like all the other negative things in your life, in our lives. Either let it build you up or let it break you down. I've let it break me down for too long. And this is probably like I'm not saying I'm leaving forever, but I'm definitely saying that I'm overdue for for everything. Because I was getting the help that I needed, but I thought I didn't need it anymore. But I was so wrong. I was more stable when I was on medication. I mean, yeah, I slept a lot, but that's the best part. I got to sleep, my brain was focused, and I was thriving. I probably will go back to the doctor because my time of being unmedicated has it's been my downfall. Because when I was like, what the fuck was it on? What the fuck was I on? Would have to go back to my medical records, but I was thriving on a certain medication that helped me focus. I didn't get distracted easily because yes, I do have ADHD. I mean, hell, half of us do. But I have the most severe part of it because sometimes the internet can be our friend or can be our biggest enemy. Lesson number one I learned from the internet: don't give out personal information. Not about you, not about your family, nobody. Lesson number two: the things you used to the things you used to think will come back and haunt you for the rest of the days that you breathe air. People are like, why don't you let go of it? Sometimes you can't. because that was the only thing fueling you at that point. Your influence can be your best friend or your worst enemy. I've done a lot of thinking lately. I don't want revenge. I don't want judgment. I need understanding. But not everyone can give it to anybody. I've lacked some compassion. And it's because if I get too compassionate or passionate about something, I'll get emotional. And I'll lose track of what I was originally doing. I'll go off course. I probably will have to fix my webcam again so I can have like an actual discussion. I'm in pajamas right now because I had a decent night's rest for the first time in a long time. And I have a lot of goals ahead of me. I have a lot of accomplishments, but I also have a lot of goals too. I'm not going to say what they are because that's my problem. I say too much. That's my problem. I say too much. Some people might take it out of context. Some people are like, I'm sorry that happened to you. I understand where this person is coming from when they say that, but sometimes saying I'm sorry that happened to you doesn't fix anything. But it's the right thing to say. Yes. Cuz I just took a long big walk like 2 days ago and I was happy because I wasn't inside my house. Yeah, people are still weird. But it's up to me whether if I want to ignore them or give them what they want. I think I'm gonna go with the first option. If I had to change my all my information, then so be it. If I had to change where I live, so be it. You know, some people run to break free. And it's been my greatest ally ever since I was a teenager. It's a tool. Sorry, not ally, it's a tool. My bad. See that there it is right there. I'll say the wrong word and then people will think one thing, but when I correct myself, they're like, oh, you know? Because my brain is so disorganized that I don't like I'll say the right thing sometimes, but then when I try to explain it, people like I notice that some of my friends will like, "What are you talking about?" And I'll say one word, and they're like, "Oh," because that's how I am. I'll say one word, or I'll go on a tangent. I'll probably vent to myself because I am the only one who truly understands me. Because all you have sometimes is yourself. People are like, "Don't you have a sister?" I do. She's adopted. Well, technically, I'm adopted into her family, but we're not gonna get into that. I mean, yeah, she's older than me, but I'm the one who protects her when we're going out because she doesn't understand the signs. The only time we leave the house is with our brother. Not my brother, but her brother. My family is a bit, I don't know how to explain it, but let's just say as an adult, I found out some things I didn't really want to think about. Like I was lied to, somewhat used, mentally neglected. Because in this household, there's no such thing as mental health. I have to be. There's no such thing as mental health in this house. I accept it because it truly is. Because mental health is the true disease. It's the real disease. There are times where I feel like I can't even that I'm underwater. And I am the only one who can get myself above the water. Hanging on by a thread has never been the most perfect thing to describe me right now. Because right now I'm fighting for the people that I care about. They may not care about me, but I care about them. Sometimes in life, you just have to let those people go. And I've been doing that way too much. Because when I think about them, I get emotional. Just people that's helped me throughout my time on the internet. Like, I'll be doing really, really good for a little while. And then something will get in my path and I'll fall. I'll stumble. But it's really hard for me to get back up mentally. Because that's how things are sometimes. I'm not even just talking from a female just perspective. I'm talking about everyone. Look, I know I'm just a stranger just talking about mental health and shit. But let me tell you something. The harder you work and the more you work, it will be your greatest thing that you'll ever do. Not even just on yourself. Right now, I'm prioritizing my family, my house, my room, everything. Because that's all I have. Because majority of these skills that I learned back in high school. Huh. Seem to forget a lot of them, apparently. Because I let fear and anger cloud my judgment. But yeah, don't ever think that you're not enough. If someone tells you that, then they're clearly not your friend. If they tell you certain things that seem like they shouldn't have said in the first place, they're not your friend. Friends are honest with each other. Friends are generous. Friends are kind. And there's trust in between those people. I have learned majority of the time not to keep things a secret. not to keep things a secret. Because sometimes those secrets will come out and then you're fucked. Because they know everything. Like I wish I had all my paperwork because it explains a lot about me, more than I could ever explain. When I was at a big high school, I was happy, yes, but I was on my toes all the time because I didn't prioritize my learning. I wasn't in class. I was ditching to help someone else. And sometimes those were the worst people are. Because my want to help someone, it it's still a passion of mine, whether people think it is or isn't, because that's what I'm passionate about. Sometimes my kindness overlooks my passion because my want to be kind or my need to be kind. It's just a terrible thing to think about. It's a really terrible thing to think about. Because here I am on a live stream talking about my emotions because I can't talk to anybody else. Because all the people that I have to let go of, most of them were a bad influence. My old friends before all this. I kept some of them because that's how I know they're good for me, is because the ones I let stay, those are the good influences that I have. It's not my parents or parent. It's my two really good friends in real life that I don't even get to talk to anymore because they're going through their own stuff. And I don't want to put that on them because sometimes I feel like I can be too much, and sometimes I am. So I have to learn to deal with it myself. And that's the worst way sometimes. Because I was actually thriving when I had a therapist. I was thriving on medication. Because that medication kept me from going crazy, losing my mind. I probably will have to go back to the doctor anyways. And then people are like, "You sound like you smoked." I don't. I generally don't smoke because it's just one of the worst things to ever get to in America. So when I run a lot, I blow off steam and then I go home and then I take a shower and then go to bed. I don't even talk to anybody before I go to bed because no one is up when I'm up. Well, majority people are, but I don't really like to get into stuff like this all the time because it makes me emotional and it makes me feel a certain way. It's really fucking terrible how people in this society get treated just because of their mental health. Some people say, "Oh, you're jealous. You're this, you're that." No, I'm not. Jealous me was back in high school. I'm an adult now. People are like, "Oh, I have a girlfriend or boyfriend or partner." I'm like, "That's fucking wonderful. I hope you're happy." I hope they make you happy, whoever it is. I'm not even sad that they're happy because people deserve to be happy in this life. Prioritize your happiness. Count your blessings. Prioritize your blessings. Because without it, what do you really have? Fear? That's the worst thing to go off of. All the negative emotions in life, they are what keeping you from what you need to be. What I need to be. Like I could have like I should have just prioritized like going back to college when I was 18. But no, I prioritized something else that I shouldn't be prioritizing. I should have thought about my love life last because I got tired of being alone. My mom's not fucking helping because I talked to my grandfather and I talked to my uncle and they're like, "Well, she's the reason why you can't really do much." And I'm like, "I couldn't have agreed more." I'm not trying to shit on my mom, but her smothering me my entire life, her being up my ass about everything, keeps me from what I'm actually trying to do because she lives off of my money. She lives off of grandpa's money too. She even stole from me as a child. But you know what? I forgave her. I forgive her because she's still my mother. She may not make the best decisions at times, but I still love her. Because sometimes this house will become a war zone. And I have to stay quiet to protect my peace. You know what she does? She picks on my fucking aunt. And then she wonders why she gets a reaction. And then she'll call her names and call her a fucking crybaby. I'm like, "Excuse me?" I understand she might say things to like rage bait you, but it's up to you to give her that power. Why are you even responding? Mind you, my aunt is tone deaf. And I tell her all the time, I'm like, you need to be nicer to her. She's like, why should I? I'm like, because technically she's family. If her and my uncle got divorced, she would have almost nothing. And I'm like, you need to stop. Genuinely. Because this is like this family's already broken enough. Okay, and if you don't like it, you can leave. But still, prioritize the best things in your life. That's all I gotta say. Take care of you and your friends, your family, whatever. That's all I gotta say. Prioritize the best people in your life. I'm speaking off my own experiences. I don't know why you're even here if you don't like what I'm saying. I mean, if you really have nothing nice to say, you can leave. Genuinely. Did you even read the description? Okay. Good for you. Have a blessed day. Whatever. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's a live stream. That's what you're supposed to do in a live stream. Nine subscribers and you're talking shit. I said she smothered me too much. There's a difference. Did you forget the part where I said I forgave her? Clearly need to clean your ears. Not what I said. Now you're just gaslighting me. Well, I have better things to do than argue with you. Have a blessed day.